Hello, and welcome to JoKaKAKA. I'm Jim.
I'm Sam.
And this is your favorite JoJoLands chapter by chapter review podcast. Oh my god, Sam, JoJo's back.
We're back, and somehow, second chapter in is probably the most controversial chapter.
Forget about Toru, forget about California King Bed.
That was a stream controversy. That wasn't an episode controversy.
Never before have we seen such controversy in the JoJo community.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know the drill. We do a monthly little JoJo podcast. Thank you for joining. Yes. We're back. We're happy to be back.
We're happy to be back discussing theories, and oh boy, we're going to have some theories and discussion here.
Oh, but actually, I forgot. I did want to address something else, which I'm putting on the spot. I'm sorry.
Okay.
At some point, I would like to talk about our bingo boards because we haven't really done a proper update of our bingo boards.
Yeah, we're kind of preoccupied, especially that day. I was very preoccupied with a lot of other things happening that day.
Yes, me too. But yeah, so
maybe we go towards the end of it. But first, I guess Patreon shout outs because we have started a Patreon, like our tip jar Patreon, and I guess we're gonna do a random person, but for the first one, we're just gonna name the people, the first month that did it. It's
all of our glorious patrons. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart.
Yes. Thank you to Call Me K, Harrison French,
and Sabbath.
I had to lead in because my eyesight is very bad and the computer screen is very far.
All right, Sam. With much further ado, also if you loved supporting JoJo and love supporting us, we'd really appreciate it if you donated to our Patreon. Yeah. Thank you.
Even $1 is all it's enough for the thanks.
It's worth $1 if it makes you laugh.
Yeah. So I guess where do we even fucking start? Do we start with like the pre all like the bullshit that happened before this chapter officially came out?
Let's briefly mention, so there was a bit, as we're talking, very controversial JoJo drama. There's drama in the JoJo community.
Oh, man.
Who's a drama guy?
Keemstar.
Call Pro Jared, because there's drama in the community.
I thought it was like Keemstar or some shit.
So there was I feel like, and I've kind of debated about this before on this podcast, like, should we talk about things that aren't the chapter? Like, should we talk about like the culture around it? And I think we should. I think it's kind of an important, briefly, it's almost like an oral history.
Yeah. At least briefly, because this is like, so when it comes to JoJo, there is the raw release first, and like that's the first thing that happens, and like okay, that's the stuff we expect for leaks. But this is like the chapter came out like a day before the magazine release.
So yeah, the chapter itself, the raws were leaked, and then normally there's sort of an unspoken rule in like the Scanslater groups that I've seen. Yeah, basically where you wait until the actual release comes out before you post the fan translation. With this, shockingly, at least in our where we live in the eastern coast of USA. Sorry, that was a really stupid way of explaining. We live in New Jersey.
Yeah.
So on the 15th, today's the 15th. It happened today, right?
It happened last
night.
Last night.
Sorry, today's the 16th. So yeah, on the 15th it dropped, which is very unnatural because normally Ultra Jump comes out, I think, between the 17th and 18th.
Yeah, we usually expect to get it 17th or 18th, because 19th is usually the magic day, and we get it a day or two before that.
So yeah, and as you said, it was kind of sniped. It was this was a translation done by not one of the normal groups.
No, and apparently it was somebody who didn't even do the first chapter either.
Yes, so I will say that I did look at this. I did read this.
I looked at it, but I wasn't gonna
without realize. I literally thought at first I was like, "What is this weird link?" Like, am I?
It looked like one of those this is the only way I can read Hunter.
For the first few pages, I really thought I was reading like a joke fan comic that someone wrote. I was like, "Oh, another Breaking Bad reference? Come on, Iraqi wouldn't actually do that."
There were some images I saw like this isn't real.
Without naming any names though, since then, one of the normal Scanlation groups has released their version, so all's right in the world.
The usual two that we usually do it dropped theirs, and that's why we could have recorded last night, but we're like, nah, fuck that. We want the good shit. But yeah, just don't release it like before the magazine drop. That's
really bad form. I would say that's really.
This is
bad.
Like shit. We started reading We had Chainsaw Man that happened too.
Well, yeah, that was so weird because. That was like
happened like twice.
Well, the one was like an error.
One was an error, and one was literally just like a synopsis from like the 3 chapters ahead, and it was like really weird.
And we speculated on our Chainsaw Man podcast that maybe it was like an employee or an intern at like Shueisha that for some reason leaked the details of the next few chapters. Very bizarre situation.
Yeah.
Great way to lose your job, I have to say.
Yeah. Well,
and by great way, I mean very stupid way to lose your job.
Yeah. So you already had somebody from Jump quit over just the difficulty of translating a manga. So.
Oh yeah, that was really interesting.
Yeah,
that was we can't.
We can't
keep talking about this stuff.
But right. So let's get to it's the funniest chapter name is the Japanese person on the island of Hawaii.
The only Japanese person.
Only one.
He's the only one.
This is literally like Shenmue. We're like, have you seen any Japanese?
I'm looking for some Japanese sailors. Well, hey, that would be Gappy. I do want to say
he's half a sailor inside of him.
he dresses for the job that he wants.
He has two wolves inside of him. One's like a college student, and the other is a sailor, Doctor Sailor.
Dr. Sailor.
Dr. Sailor.
So, yes.
But
I did want to say, go ahead. I had such anticipation for this chapter because of the Japanese man reveal.
I felt like it wouldn't have been revealed here. I felt like it could have been another chapter.
I thought it was because I'd seen somebody spoiler tagged something that I clicked on that I shouldn't have that said, OMG, I gasped at the reveal. And I was like, wait, okay, well, at least I wasn't spoiled, but I know that I'm going to see it here. And I did.
What it was what I heard in the first rumor, the second rumor was, it seems to be more so Joshi. I'm like, okay, good. I still don't know 100%, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah, there were a lot of leaks fake leaks saying Joshu.
And fake edits.
Yeah, the fake edit, we'll talk about that.
But yeah, so this is I mentioned before we started podcast, me and Jim messaging each other, this felt like 2 chapters combined into one, because I don't know what this first part, this opening, his drug bust takes place, I guess, before the first chapter. It's just one of their days, I guess.
No, I think it must happen afterward, because remember, they run into the cops, and the same cops from the first chapter.
Yeah.
So it must have been that same day.
Which is a really weird thing. I guess we'll sell some drugs beforehand. Yeah, you're right.
It's literally because Araki wanted to do another Breaking Bad reference. That is all.
Yeah, you're going to have to explain those to me, so.
There's almost nothing to explain. He literally just does a bit from Breaking Bad. It's very funny.
So.
Also, and one other thing, I feel like there's another joke. But we'll get into that later.
You have to explain, because I have not seen Breaking Bad. We're not gonna get to that watch along podcast yet, because
hey, I would do that.
It's the Sam Choices next.
Okay.
So yeah, we have Mystery Woman, or I don't know, she hasn't a fan name yet. She's just bikini clad wearing
DEA agent.
She's the worst kind of woman. She's a cop. Burn. So yeah, we're just in a weird scenario of just a day in the life of JoJo and Paco, I guess, of chilling by a tree,
stealing drugs,
playing the Nintendo Switch.
No, he's gaming on his phone.
Is it phone gaming or Switch gaming?
I think he's gaming on his phone. Oh, maybe it kind of does look like a Switch, actually. In that one shot, I have not seen any other.
I have another modern reference to it.
Okay, we see it again. It kind of does look like a Switch.
Yeah. This shot looks like a Switch.
Yeah. So he's got a knockoff. He's a Chinese knockoff Switch.
He has the Soldier Boy console. He's a big Soldier Boy fan.
He's fucking gaming.
But yeah, so he kind of redoes what his tactic is. What he did with we know his name now, but Hot Dog Boy.
Hot Dog Boy, yeah.
Well, of just kind of being very vague and hey, you should put that money that you owe me in that can, and then just walk towards that statue kind of thing. But hey, you're asking too many questions, being really weird, a very bad undercover cop, and asking questions, you're just being sus. And then basically, it's very funny that, somebody could just be buzzed, but she just goes into a JoJo rant, essentially just having that JoJo, this is my moment to just break you kind of thing, or just being detailed about the laws of being an undercover cop.
Yeah, I'll cut to the chase.
It'd be very funny. She said, "Oh, I'm a college student. I'm studying criminal law."
Well, just to cut to the chase, this bit is literally ripped from Breaking Bad.
I was gonna say this bitch.
This bitch. No, I'm kidding. This bit is literally in Breaking Bad. So in Breaking Bad, obviously it's about making and dealing drugs.
Yes.
There's one, I believe it's a cold open for one episode where one of the guys who's dealing drugs is sitting on a bench and he deals drugs to an undercover cop, and the cop literally has the same exact monologue where they said, undercover cops can't lie, and like
I've heard this thing before, but I think way even before Breaking Bad, of just being it's like the cops can't lie. If you ask if they're a cop, they have to be truthful. I think I've always heard that, and I've never like believed it for a second.
It is an urban legend
because I watched
for sure.
I mentioned many crime things about undercover cops, and it's bullshit because they literally just like get way too in deep with it.
Which, and not to make it this whole tangent, but I don't understand how it's not what's the word? There's a legal word about like when you're coerced by the police to commit a crime. Entrapment.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's not entrapment.
Yeah.
Like, how is this is a sting operation? But
I've seen like I think JCS. He's even things about interrogations where like some of the cops do try to like trap you into there, and I mean, 1 or 2 episodes he has about like people that are actually innocent, and like they still try to like
and of course like in this situation they're doing a sting operation. Like they're literally just like they're not entrapping him. They're not forcing him to commit a crime.
She's like, I just went super serious. How do I change the mood? Oh, just act like a silly college girl. Like,
I do love that moment where she's like, I'm not a cop. It's really funny. But this whole bit, like even with the detail of like in Breaking Bad, he like hides the drugs in a paper bag in a trash can that's like right next to them, so he has to like get up and grab it. But it's funny because the scene ends almost the same way, where like the police officer, the undercover cop, aggressively pulls a gun out like right into the guy's face, and like kind of squats too, and is like, "You're under arrest!" Like do that.
It's also very funny that like they hide the drug like under a leaf.
Yeah, that's very.
I don't know how that stayed there.
It's because Poco Loco has the crazy power of muscles. He uses
that does not work on the ground.
He uses fingernail muscles to drop it perfectly under a leaf.
Which out of her helmet, she had her badge and gun, which is very funny.
Yeah, and it's just this is a funny little scene. Like I like how JoJo like literally calls it. He calls it, and then he still is an idiot, and it's a really fun character scene.
Everybody loves JoJo unless you're a cop. But also, it's just like very fun. Okay, so other than just the normal police, is this the first like other strain of like I guess government agents or not the Speedwagon Foundation, but like there's been no FBI, like no CIA. Like, is this like the first time it's really been like, oh no, someone from the DEA, like someone that's not just a normal police officer getting their shit pushed
There may have been something in Steel Ball Run. Like, it would be anachronistic.
There wasn't even like a Secret Service in Steel Ball Run. I guess he had like his special assassins, I guess, for funny, but like
I don't know.
I'm not sure that those counted as his Secret Service. I guess he would.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of anything. But they had mall cops in Stone Ocean. I'm kidding.
Prison cops, I guess. Yeah, but those are basically like they're slightly a step above mall cops. But yeah, Paco and what's it called JoJo get like tackled by, of course, the same 2 cops. But yeah, it's like, oh yeah, my bike's recording us all, and
like literally everything JoJo predicted. He's like, oh well, that's clearly like you have a camera in there, and like
also this is the first cop to be like, haha, got ya, and just kind of showboat in front of you like neener, and then just like it just like, most cops are like, shut up, and just walk away. Like, so
what is he selling? Like, I'm trying to figure out. So it's a powder, or it's kind of like crystal. I mean, I guess it is literally meth.
I guess it's breaking. If you watch Breaking Bad, it's probably meth.
It's probably meth.
The literal crystals in meth.
They're really small though, like because I was wondering, because if she's like a student, she'd probably want like a stimulant, like I
thought it would just be Coke,
like Adderall or something, or Coke. Yeah. Coke would make, but this looks like it looks more crystally. It doesn't look like powdery like Coke would.
Yeah, but she also makes it known that like she's looking for their boss as well. So there's kind of a thing of like I guess there could be a third party thing of like the government like trying to crack down.
The DEA is targeting high school student drug dealers.
And their boss, that's also, they don't know who's the principal.
Think about how much money Mei Lin, I think her name's Mei Lin, right? She must be making literally like millions of dollars drug dealing to high school students.
So you said this is like Breaking Bad. I know, what's it called? What's his name? Gus from Breaking Bad. He was like had like a front of being like the fast food manager. Is it kind of the same thing with the principal being like a principal for like I guess being a front and then just actually just being like a probably a drug lord?
I guess. I don't know. Like,
but not nearly as like evil looking, I guess.
I think the whole thing with Gus is that like the way it's introduced, it's almost a misdirect. Like the first time you see him as like spoilers for Breaking Bad. You see him in the background as a restaurant.
I haven't talked about this last episode about him, but yeah.
Yeah, so I guess I can kind of see the comparison of like a kingpin that like is putting their efforts in like legitimate looking businesses. It's like a way to launder money as well.
Yeah,
I guess it's all kind of connected in that way.
But yeah, and of course, yeah, we get the two worst, or at least the one where I don't think the glasses cop is as evil as
he knows.
He knows
he's allowing this other cop.
He's allowing it, but like literally the most like JoJo villain, or like just any generic evil villain that like if he had a knife he would be licking it right now. Kind of,
yeah, he's
kind of
licking
evil.
his lips.
Yeah, and he's also like. Just like, I remember your big brothers and the soft ass.
Yeah, he literally wants to like bone Dragona, which I mean, who can blame him? But yeah, Jojo's response to that is really funny. He's like, "Yeah, I know my big brother's cute, but you can't like say that."
But this guy on the go like, I want to run my crotch against you so bad, especially against your big brother. Like,
this man is just like the most sexual deviant human alive.
This man is just like literally he is the biggest like risk for the entire like Honolulu police.
He's gonna have a one man, like imagine everyone that's gonna cancel this guy, like #MeToo this
like
man.
This man will cause your fucking entire organization to have to like implode. Like literally, like
they would have to fire like the whole staff.
They're gonna have to like bleach it clean. But yeah, JoJo goes, "I should have killed you, bastard." But like, it doesn't really matter. I'm aware my bro is pretty cute, but just don't say it again. I'll let you off the hook.
It's funny too. I don't think we talked about it, but Paco gets tackled in the background. It's very funny. Paco, I think it's just funny that like Paco is this guy who's supposed to be like pure muscle, perfect, like he can do anything, but he still like is reluctant to use his stand against the cops. Like
I don't know what we don't know. We only ever seen it grab a wallet and a watch in his muscles. That's all we've seen it do.
He could literally, Sam.
We do not know.
Your brain is too small. You need to think about like how he could like mold his skin around your hand if you try and grab him to like dodge out of the way.
We do not know.
Pure muscle control with the hustle.
The hustle, muscle hustle.
But so, and also I have to assume this happens to JoJo all the time because he immediately resorts to using his stand.
This is like, because what we saw from before with the first November rain use was we weren't sure if it can affect him so he seems to have control of it. It's very much like we mentioned, like what happened in Wonder Review, where it was normal rainfall, and then it fucked you up once you like went out, because he just targets the drugs, quote unquote, mystery drugs, and then destroy the evidence. But she was fine. The mystery woman's fine.
Yeah, so he's got actually like strong precision. Like it's interesting because you see the rain's hitting her, but it's only the baggie that's actually getting completely destroyed.
Yes.
And it does appear to be rain. So in our little JOKAKAKA we had with Anstar and Promello, I forget who it was. I think it might have been Anstar brought up the theory that whatever JoJo touches is what the raindrops take the properties of. So I was kind of looking out for that here, and we don't really see that. It just seems like he's able to make the rain hurt really hard. But I have to think, like, how is his stand going to get more complicated? Because every JoJo's stand gets more complicated. That's just like how these things work.
Yeah, I'm trying to see like what's his I mean, let's say
he's just on the ground. His hands are just on the ground.
I mean,
really.
If the cop have like a watch on, maybe he's like holding the watch or his handcuffs on him. I think.
I think it's more just that he's able to put punch power into his raindrops.
I said if you touch
only specific ones though.
I said the handcuffs are on him. It looks like so maybe he's touching the handcuffs. It could be at like metal.
Yeah,
but he's doing it very precise. And it's like, just didn't hurt the woman. So shockingly enough, despite him going like, I feel like if someone lied to him, he would just go full on out. And melt them. But the other cops seem to be fine after I guess a day of recovery.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they look pretty unscarred. It is JoJo though. Everyone's wounds heal immediately.
I mean, these cops seem to be like back on the forward after like they got literally like crushed and their car lit on fire.
Another detail too is it seems like it does only affect like what is directly under the stand itself. Like we see that one kind of like splash page where it's directly over top of the police officers.
Yeah, we haven't really got like this is what we usually wait for, like the little stand bios so we can get like a decent understanding of like the range maybe. And But I do like, this must be your range, JoJo. Nice. I'm really starting to like this guy, and then he just run.
Yeah, Paco is hilarious.
There's like also like 6 DEA agents in like we see in like previous panels, so they're just like also like, fuck this rain, man. Okay, let you guys run away. Yeah, and then we get the JoJo has joined the league of fucking psychopaths that people are gonna be obsessed with now.
This is really funny to me that like Araki specifically. Do
you think Araki watched American Psycho?
Maybe. But yeah, so yeah, JoJo was, it sounds like he was forced to do it. A psychological test at his school. Yeah, and so even though there was like a cost associated with it, but they said that like 18 out of 20 like psychopath indicators were checked off for him, so he has anti-personality disorder.
Okay. First off, I like a guilty conscience or feeling remorse. That's like every Joe star.
That's very
other
true.
than Jonathan, probably.
Yeah.
And because he's the only one that felt really sad about actually killing Dio, but like he had to do it.
Yeah, everyone else like revels in it.
Yeah, everybody else is a literal psychopath.
But yeah, I think this is like a really good little like background because it's immediately followed up with him saying like, can I become happy? It's him like kind of reflecting on like apparently I'm born with this weird thing that has made me like different from people. I'm more aggressive, I'm more prone to violence, but like can I still have a place in this world, sort of thing.
That's why people come up with the with like rock human, maybe his father, maybe rock human.
Oh
kind
shit!
of thing.
I didn't think about that.
A lot of people were kind of thinking off of that. That's why not really feeling the emotion or everything.
Fuck.
I guess he could put up a front like some of the other rock humans have, but
true. Ooh. Well, there's a lot of evidence against that.
Yeah.
I kind of want to wash my hands with all the fucking rock human talk.
I do too.
I mean, he's not a rock human. Like, let's be real. He's not.
Especially with what we've learned about like even if you're like have a human mother, you're still a fucking rock human. Have to like grow up as like a bug.
Yeah.
And he had a birthmark, so I don't know like.
But I really
and if you see a child him, unless there's some weird variant or something, some weird offshoot rock human.
We did see a child version of him, so yeah.
Unless
confirmed for not rock human.
I hope so.
But I really like this little aside.
I like the only thing he says after being like diagnosed as a psychopath is, "I'll be careful."
Yeah.
So.
And it's interesting because like it just shows how it justifies how quick he is to violence. Like that's just how he is. He's an anti-person. He has what is it?
But the panel where he says, "I become happy?" He looks like a psychopath though. Like this is like his Joker phase.
He does.
I love that.
But I like how he's like, I'm pretty darn sure I can. Like, I don't know. There's something kind of cool about him, like having this weird challenge and then getting over it.
I hope some guy breaks my face into a book and then writes, "Don't be a psychopath," and then I'll be cured.
What if he says, "Learn Japanese"?
Learn Japanese.
So
that's how Koichi learned
French,
Italian
or Italian.
Yeah.
French.
He probably. I mean,
Rohan fucked up and wrote French instead of Italian.
I mean, he did learn. He did go to France at one point.
It's true. It's true. Presumably. So yeah, then we kind of jump ahead to the actual heist. The heist itself.
Well, it's more so the traveling to the heist.
Yeah.
105 at the airport and. We get Hot Dog Boy being a fucking weirdo, crazy person.
As immediately Paco says, that guy's a drug addict.
Yeah, clearly.
Clear drug addict behavior. So we learn his name.
Yes.
His name is Usagi Aloha Oi. Which is, I forget who, I think Aeon posted the backstory behind Aloha Oi. So check out his tweet, but it's kind of interesting. It was like some Hawaiian like national lady, like a native Hawaiian who wrote that song because she was put in like house arrest because I guess for being anti-U.S. government.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it sort of means like farewell or something. I can't remember exactly what it means. But also in Space Dandy, his spaceship's called the Aloha Oi. So a Space Dandy reference.
Yeah, but Hot Dog Boy was also Usagi was in charge of getting the car rental. Didn't do it. Right now.
Also, he said this seems really suspicious. He said that there was like a mechanical error. That's why his flight was late. He's definitely involved in that. He was doing some bullshit.
Yeah. But he's like, oh, we'll split the car rental fee, $30 each to cover it. which is very funny as it comes up. But we learn, Usagi's his name, 17 years old.
And then he conveniently runs through the ages of everyone in the group.
This guy's definitely an addict. He's completely wired up. But their boss vouches for him.
Dragona,
which I do like. Okay, we don't like this guy. It should have been a 3-man job, but we gotta trust their boss though, which I kind of do like. It's interesting, but then you get a rental car, which is like a sports car, and like a Mustang or whatever, a GT.
I thought it was I think it might be a Mustang. I'm not sure. It's a Mustang or a Camaro.
Probably, I think it looks more like a Camaro to me. Yeah.
I don't know if that's like the 2023 Camaro or.
I don't know, but whatever it is.
I'm not really a car guy.
But they're driving away. They had the lady instead of like a sign trailer, like a flag waver, and he said, if you bring your plane ticket, you have a 1-day free rental for just $90. So he got $93 from each of them, and basically didn't have to pay for the fee, which is very funny.
Okay, yeah, I was trying to figure out what that.
Yeah, so basically he got the money and just didn't have to pay $30. So it's very and like you're going.
She said if you bring your ticket. Do you think she meant plane ticket?
That's what I meant. That's what I said. It was a deal for because that's how you get a car rental from the airport. And you can get, that's what the deal was $90 if you bring your plane ticket. So he brought his plane ticket and got $30 from each of them and didn't pay a cent. He's a fucking cheapsteak or just has no money
cheapsteak.
The cheesesteak. So yeah.
Wait, sorry. If you bring your ticket, your next rental will have 1 day free, just $90. So and then he took 30 from everyone, so he got 30.
He got 30 from Paco, JoJo, and Dragona.
So he only pocketed 30.
They just paid for it. He just didn't pay. Oh wait, because one of them didn't pay then, because he said $30 from each of them, because $90. I don't know why he said $30, because then he pocketed $30. I think
that's what I'm saying. You're wrong.
You're wrong. Or he just didn't pay his $30.
So yeah, he lied and said $30 from everyone, but it was only $30.
Whatever, it's not important.
You're the one that's fixating on it.
You went more into detail about it. So yeah, we get
a really cool. Wait, hold on. I'm not done talking about this yet.
Oh my god.
You skipped over so many details. So hilarious. Usagi or whatever his name is. Yeah. We love him. He's great. I think we have Dragona's actual like outfit here. I think this is gonna be the outfit that Dragona wears for the rest of the part. Dragona had literally 4 different costume changes in the first chapter, so I think this is going to be the canonical one that they stick with.
I can see there being like a Jolene moment where they just lose the top essentially and just have like the bikini we had from like the first chapter. I guess I can see it changing that way.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I feel like
especially when they have to abandon ship at some point or go into the water.
Because like Paco's design has been the same. JoJo obviously the same. I feel like
Hot Dog Boy got a hat.
Dragona, yeah, he did get a hat actually. I don't know if so he still has his little. Oh, is it supposed to be rabbit ears?
What?
Is that why he has the little thing on his shoulder? Is that supposed to be rabbit ears?
Probably.
Because isn't Usagi the word for rabbit in Japanese?
I will believe you. It makes sense with what I mean. It not really makes it with a stance. Stance really it's interesting.
It doesn't hop like a rabbit.
No, it's like a blind bird. But okay, so they leave. They kind of like get to their like lookout point. I guess to get them
Yeah, we have these gorgeous shots of Hawaii, which are like I know like. JoJo's fine in black and white, but I would love to see the color versions of these scenes. They're so pretty.
Yeah, and what's it called? JoJo kind of goes some scouting. They're all kind of sitting around waiting. But yeah, so apparently the Japanese person has not left the house at all. They just will not leave. But they get some information that what's it called? They are just chill. They just go to the pool and swim around because they have all their drinks. They have an iPad.
Yeah, everything is set out, so they haven't seen them yet, but they're like, all right, I know this mysterious Japanese will appear outside.
They have glasses, ice, ginger ale, and coffee. All the things you have after you go swimming.
I don't want to like spoil the surprise, but like that does feel like a very Rohan thing to do. Just have like a bunch of drinks.
But there's one thing I feel that's not very like them, but we'll see. We'll talk about it when we get there. But so that's the plan. They're gonna wait for them to go to the pool, and then once they go to the pool, that's when they go in.
And they were like, "All right, like we'll head right to the master bedroom. And there's probably gonna be a safe there."
Yeah, they said the only way that there'll be another person here is they just show up at the doorstep while we're doing it. So yeah, and then So yeah, put on your earphones and your mask, and I don't think anyone put on the mask before they even like. You think they would do it like right there, but they don't.
Yeah, I was confused why you said that because like
you're going to someone that actually looks like visibly has a mask like around their collar, like they could just pull up.
Oh yeah, that's true. I didn't even notice.
But the other ones don't, and they just proceed not to. And
I'm sure they'll appear eventually.
But yeah, Usagi's like, "Oh, we're gonna get code names. I'll be blue. You could be pink." And I just love fucking going, "Shut the fuck up."
Also, Reservoir Dog reference.
Mr. Pink and Mr. Blue. It's two. It's a Mr. But yeah, they say Mr. Pink and Mr. Blue. Yeah, but it didn't like everybody called him Pink Guy because like the Filthy Frank character. Or
whatever. Yeah, that's true. Because he has like a similar kind of
close. That's close. You're gonna get to that. So. But yeah, they have a camera, and as we get the first use of Usagi's stand.
Well, first off, we have to talk about this fucking creature that they see. So is this supposed to be a fucking cat?
Yeah.
The ears are insane for it to be a cat. It looks like a fennec fox, but like with a booty.
Boing. It's making a boing noise.
It is making a boing noise.
Boing boing cave.
But yeah, so
they see a camera, and they say, "You gotta tell me you want that camera." Dragona says it, and we get a little like a weird like bird comes out of his hand, which I do love. It just like the way it comes out of his hand. Cause you kind of see a bubble on his hand first. I guess he got like the top of his head, like the little like, nucleus where Cell's head is. That's what it looks like. And it has the Cell head. It pops out and it bumps into the fucking wall, which is hilarious. And then it climbs up. Like, you think it would fly, but it just like climbs up and just like. So it basically splits the camera, like very much like Kiss, kind of, like it's still kind of connected, like when they do like the head split or whatever.
Yeah, kind of.
So it's called Mate Kudasai.
Mate Kudasai.
Mate Kudasai. Okay.
Which is a King Crimson reference, which is one of my bingo things checked off.
So there we go. So yeah, so this is like the first, I think, real what my stand does explanation of part 9, where so it transforms into something there that someone wants. It doesn't work for him, so he can't. So he had to get somebody else to do it. I do love that kind of stand where
it's really good.
It's very much a heist group stand to use. And he's having his use right now.
It's fun because it's one of those like insanely overpowered stands, but the limitation makes it so fun to work with. Like. He needs to have someone work with him. I could easily see this like backfiring in like a fun way.
So one thing I need to understand that there'll be 2 videos to record it too, a real one and a fake one. So like the right one makes it very much like I guess what's it like Paper Moon King.
It is kind of like Paper Moon King, yeah.
At least, but like so the recording is somewhere else, like the tape that records the video, correct?
It depends. I mean, it could be if it's a closed circuit system, then it would just be like.
Is it like split? Like you have like 2 things on one camera? Because like it records the one area. It's not duplicate unless it's duplicate the entire camera system.
I guess that's a possibility. I mean, there are cameras that have like the memory stick right in there, or like right inside. But my question would be, it's gonna disappear, right? Like the stand turns into the camera, so I would presume that the second camera wouldn't remain. I think you're right. It might just go to like the camera system.
It's
but that's insane because then it's creating another file.
It makes 2 files.
Yeah, and then you just be like, oh well, this clearly is the fucking duplicate file because you look at the metadata and it's all like wacky and weird.
But they're like, oh yeah, this will be recorded. You'd be recorded, a real one and a fake one, and it's like it's kind of like I'm not sure if it mirrors itself.
No, it doesn't mirror. It just makes like a fucked up version.
Yeah,
it has like a regular version and then a fucky version.
It's like, oh yeah, you probably don't need your mask for this.
And like, I just have to say, like, I love the idea of this. Like, it's very clever. Like the fact that, oh yeah, if there's 2 different recordings of the same thing, neither can be used for evidence. But that's really stupid because like. Face capture and like facial recognition technology is so powerful now that they could just easily run both of the like things through and they're like, oh well, JoJo, that guy's known as like a fucking we send him to juvie, get that boy to juvie.
Yeah, these are little children in high school.
Unless there's a moment where they literally destroy like the original copy, then I would say okay.
Like Hitman style, you gotta go to the camera room and just fry the camera feed. But it's like a nice shot of all their, I guess, what they look like in the camera. You don't really see anything of JoJo, but like Dragona kind of looks like, I was thinking like Tsurugi kind of looks.
Kind of, and I like that the D on their chest turns into a B.
Yes,
that's a really funny detail.
And like I guess Paco, like his name is just gone from his hat, and so yeah, Usagi has like
he
a
still
beret.
Has a little ice cream cone though.
Yeah, that could be anybody. But his name was spelled in the ice cream cone, wasn't it?
Oh, I think it might have been. I forget.
So yeah, and we get a glimpse of the man in the pool.
I was like, my heart was like pounding reading this. I can't tell you the last time I was like so fucking excited reading a chapter of manga.
I'm not sure if you saw on Twitter, Aeon and Experts were doing live readings.
I did see that.
See the exact moments of like,
I watched
either their heart breaks in half or they pop off.
I watched Exports, and there's an amazing moment where he literally says, "It's Rohan," and then like it sinks in, and he's like, "Oh fuck!" Like it was so funny that like he said it subconsciously, and then it hit him. I was cracking up. That was like a great reaction moment.
And that's we learned that JoJo is a big anime manga fan, a big weeaboo.
Yeah, he's literally a weeb because he's American. He's a white boy.
I'm not sure there's a difference in Hawaii, just being able to know that culture more. But I guess I don't think
probably
so.
Not much more. I know there's a high population of Japanese in Hawaii. But
going by their stereotype of the Japanese, I don't think they do. By like, oh, they're peace-loving people. I'm like, have you read JoJo? A high school student turned a man into a rock.
All they do is kill cops. That's all they do.
But yeah, so he finds out this man is the mangaka, Rohan Kishibe, and so this is like the hot topic of I guess the chapter.
It took me a second to realize you weren't talking about the store.
Yeah,
hot topic.
The hot topic. I mean, they probably sell what was his manga called?
Pink Dark Boy.
Pink Dark Boy merch there, and Funko Pop of it too.
I would buy a Pink Dark Boy shirt and wear it. That'd be cool.
You just buy a shirt with Heaven's Door, essentially.
Yeah, pretty much.
So yeah, it's Rohan, but like. This is not like... So, in this Steel Ball Runverse, every character has been, like... the equivalent of them have been, like, completely different design, pretty much a different character for the most part.
Or at least in the wrong time period.
Yeah, but like, the Abdul and the Rohan were just little cameos, and they weren't, like, a Nazi cyborg or, like, man with a funny ticking gimmick and burns people. He's just riding a camel in Steel Ball Run.
Yeah,
because
that's all I really see of him.
But like this is like one for one like Rohan like
that we think. We don't know anything. All we know is that Rohan is known in this universe as a manga and an anime creator, presumably as adaptations.
Yeah.
And that he's in front of us and we see him and his design looks similar to how he looks in the Dust Book Rohan.
Because I compare this to beginning of Part 8 with Kira, because at first you were kind of teased like, oh, he's half Kira, and you have all these, oh no, the fingernails are a thing, he's holding a woman hostage, like, oh no, it's the Kira we know, and like, it's not, it's 100%, it's a misdirect,
yeah,
and
it's
like,
total misdirect.
Looks different, like, personality-wise, is like a different character, he is like a Joestar.
Literally, yes.
And it's like, okay, this is really interesting. Like, holy crap! But then with this one, it's just like, oh no, it's just Rohan. Unless in the future we find out it's not or something. But I'm like okay.
I'm gonna say it.
And like
Sam.
I like Rohan. I love Rohan in Part 4, but like this is like weird.
I'm gonna say it, Sam. Let him cook.
I know.
Let him cook. I want to see what he does with this. Because like,
if it is just Rohan or like Rohan, like if he's opened the multiverse door of like fucking original fucking Part 6, I'm just gonna be like, like if it was like a different, like I'm like now like I don't want Yasho to interact with him because he the one Hirose he interacted with was like he's overly obsessed with. I'm like leave Yasho be.
Wow, I didn't even think about. He's from Morio. Okay, that's why.
But it's also like 8 years. I'm not sure how old Rohan is in this point because he never ages in like in like that universe.
And also, like,
yeah, go ahead.
It just makes you think like, where is the continuity in the Rohan one shots? Because there are some where we see we see Part 4 characters, explicit versions of those characters, like done in the newer art style because his art's changed.
Maybe the recent 2 ones or like
Those I would probably say yes, just because the COVID one.
And he has the same editor though. The editor is also like the common character.
She is like a real connecting aspect of that.
And there's I think there's like...
She's only in like one of the original ones. I think she's only in the Millionaire Village one.
Yeah.
And then later on, post part 8, I think, he started including her in like all the new ones.
I know, but like, I like Rohan. Like, I was more excited for like, to have maybe that Koichi kind of thing of like, we'll have a character from the part before come in here. We'll see, and it was way more interesting to bring. That's how you bring in like any family member. Like Joshu was like everybody's pick. It would have been incredibly interesting to see.
It would have been good, and that's what I wanted. But I think like Araki, I hate to be like the subverted my expectations guy, but like literally by doing this, it is like the biggest shock. Like,
it is.
Everyone is like, oh really? But like I think this is like wild. I was not expecting.
A lot of people don't like. I think a lot of people don't like Rohan. A lot of people still like. I don't know why. I love him. I don't know why
people don't like Rohan.
I love him part 4. Maybe because the meme of there's always thus spoke Rohan. Like there's 3 things. There's death, taxes, and Rohan. Thus spoke Rohan. Mangas.
I think that's kind of a stupid. I mean, hey, I'm not trying to put words in people's mouths, but I mean, I haven't read all the thus spoke Rohans, but I generally like Rohan. I know the whole joke about him being like a Rocky insert is kind of like a little worn out, but I
mean the last 2 ones are like more apparent than ever of being a self-insert. But I'm like, so the biggest factor, if he has Heaven's Door, I really don't want him to, because I feel like that'd be a better misdirect if
it's not the Rohan that we know. It's like we've only seen a very similar version of him.
Yeah, I'm like, it could be somebody with a fucking disguising stand, or like oh, it could be just Tsurugi. I'm like, it's not Tsurugi.
Even if it is, so I've thought of that too, and I kind of wish it were Tsurugi.
But like, Paper Moon King has to touch you to.
Well, it used to,
unless it evolves.
Yeah, before Tsurugi became a Super Saiyan. At the end of part 8.
But like, he's grabbed the diamond. It became a teenage. Became like, I guess, I'm sure he would age. What age would he be? Like 8. He was like what?
Tsurugi was like 12. No, wait, no, wasn't it like
8?
I think it was. Oh my god, we're bad JoJo fans. It might have been 10 is when the sickness hits. Whatever. Yeah, Tsurugi would be like a late teenager.
And I don't know. This is like a Joshi thing to like, let me disguise myself as the famous mangaka and take a diamond to a villa. Like 11 years old.
Okay.
So yeah. So yes, he would
be in his 20s. Yeah.
Ripped as hell now. Like but yeah.
I mean, maybe an adult. I wouldn't believe that it could be another character in disguise, but that's kind of like, I'm starting to get to the point where like it's only chapter 2. Yeah, like I can't get this crazy this quick.
And they said like, oh yeah, we got fucked up bad on this operation as well. So I'm like, it's like, I guess they just all get brainwashed except for one of them or something, or like booktified, unless it's a different stand, which I'm hoping. It's like Heaven's Door, as we've seen with like past returning stands. Like we had Love Deluxe, like
Heaven's Door.
like returning like different powered up stands, which we got in part 8.
Well, wait, didn't they do Guns N' Roses did a cover of Heaven's Door, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's kind of interesting, because we have Purple Rain, we have November Rain, and then Heaven's Door. Because Heaven's Door was I think a Bob Dylan song.
I believe so, yeah.
And then it was covered.
I think it was way more popular than Guns N' Roses cover than a Bob Dylan song.
Yeah, I don't like Guns N' Roses.
No, I don't think they're that.
I'm sorry.
Slash is only good in Guitar Hero 3.
Boss battle versus Slash.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I loved this reveal. I thought it was fantastic. I literally pogged and screamed.
I said, I only will be disappointed if it is just Rohan. Like, there's nothing different about him. If he's a 1-for-1 Rohan, I'd be disappointed.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
From having this, like, Johnny, not Jonathan at all. Gyro, not really any Zappelli, really. Like, Kira. Even Joseph we had in the 2 chapters wasn't anything like the Joseph we had in the earlier parts. Like,
but it does feel like he would be the perfect character for this. Like Rohan being like a weird constant feels right in some way.
Yeah,
because he's such a strange part of JoJo. Like he became this like protagonist to his own series, and he really dominates like so much of the scenes that he's in part 4.
Yeah, it's just I don't know, man.
I'm excited. I want to let him cook.
I said the weirdest thing is just him being revealed just as Rohan, like one for one. I said 7 and 8 had that thing on me where like, okay, any reference or returning characters are going to be different. Like someone's going to have Love Deluxe to stand, but it's Love Deluxe and it's like way more OP.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's also kind of like Rohan kind of
Heaven's Door.
He like he was able to transition into like more of a newer style of Rocky character because he was in all of these one shots where no other character
dog
going crazy, loving Rohan. No other character really had the benefit of sticking with Araki all this time.
Yeah, except for Rohan. Really.
So yeah, Rohan kind of got the glow up that like. You could say that Carrera is is Carrera? Yeah. Carrera is like a Yasuho. No, my God. Yukako. I cannot talk. She's kind of like the Yukako of that version.
But more of a gremlin instead of a yandere.
And if you compare Rohan, like, he had like a visual design glow up, but I mean, his name is still Rohan Kishibe. That's kind of crazy. And I feel like it's not lost on Araki. Araki's doing this on purpose. He knows like the punch that this has.
Imagine if it was Carrera squatting in the house as a Japanese person, just stole a diamond, just squatting in
it. It could be her in disguise, Sam.
Yeah, use her hair to just fucking change her image.
Great skin.
Like Bayonetta, just gonna like shapeshift.
Hey Sam, if we've seen weather patterns turn people into snails, I feel like any stand can do fucking anything.
She's just topless swimming.
She uses her hair to refract light around.
But yeah, it's weird. I said I'm gonna let him cook, but it's still just a weird thing to me. Bizarre.
I feel like there's nothing he could have done that is more shocking than this.
It is shocking,
and that is what I'm here for right now.
Yeah,
I'm here for that.
Joven. It was Joven.
That would probably, but it like even that would be like a character that we've seen in this universe. Like
yeah, it's weird. I think like a lot of Part 5. Equivalent people got from this just having a Part 4 character, just literal Part 4 character show up. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna keep. I'm hesitant. Like I'm kind of worried, but I'm like I'm not gonna make any like super strong opinions of how I feel until I see what happened or where it comes from it, because like I said, it can change. I could be misdirected like I was with the Kira chapters.
True.
Like,
damn, that was so good.
Yeah. So
the fucking Kira chapters.
So I guess we can go into predictions, I guess, of like, so what do you think is gonna come from this? How do they get fucked up from this? Do you think he will have just Heaven's Door?
Yeah, I think he will. I think he'll just have Heaven's Door, and I think he'll do what you said. Like, he'll just do the thing where he could turn them against each other. Like
you can only lie. You can only tell the truth.
Like Heaven's Door, you see every man in the room as JoJo, and then Paco attacks everyone.
Because like I think back to that Part 4 fight, and do you remember how they won against Rohan? The only way they were able to defeat Rohan.
They used the shapeshifting alien to play dice.
That was the second time. And he burned down his house from that.
Didn't they not win? Rohan like decided he was done?
No. He got Josuke and he told him you will not be able to hit me, but he was so mad because they make fun of his hair that it did not work.
He broke the fucking conditioning.
So now I'm like, with any of these people stands that we all know what they can roughly do, can defeat that? Will his sociopathic tendencies be a factor?
I think you might be onto something, Sam.
Because like, oh, I turned your face to a book. Haha, I use Smooth Operator to melt my face so you can't open the page. It's too smooth.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Or like my muscle, I contracted my face muscles so you can't open it up. Like, that's not how Heaven Door works. I can just open it up any kind of page. I've opened a child's face before.
And I love doing it.
And like, unless like I wish for Rohan Kishibe or some shit, like let's use his stand. Which I will probably not get used to saying his stand as much as the other ones.
I already forget the name. The King Crimson reference.
Yeah, King Crimson one. And now people are saying, "Oh, who's gonna be the Diavolo equivalent now?" That's just a big hot topic as well.
Diavolo.
Like, oh, is he the Doppio? Is he like the Doppio of this part?
Oh, huh.
And like also like, does JoJo gonna have split personalities now? And like, man, we've been through this before though in part Part 8. Like I can't go through the King Crimson shit again. The Tsurugi having King Crimson or developing personalities. Rohan is his other personality. Tsurugi's other personality is Rohan.
He gave himself a dissociative identity.
He put the shirt back on. It's gonna be Tsurugi.
Sam.
Instead of pen earrings, he has paper origami earrings. The pen, the paper, baby. There we go. There's my crazy theory.
You did it, Sam. You're a real boy now. I do have a theory. So you're saying how like Usagi, if he's gonna be whatever Doppio. So I have a theory.
An unhinged.
Going back to the car rental.
Doppio on crack.
No, going back to the car rental.
Yes.
So the scene where the woman who's advertising says, "If you bring your ticket, your next rental will have 1 day free, just $90." So from that scene before, we know they all paid $30.
Yep.
My theory is that one of them will die in this confrontation with Rohan. Thus, them all having to just put $30. Thus, spoken. They'd only have to pay $30 each on the way back. That's my fan theory. So I think.
Wait.
I think Paco's gonna die. Paco's gonna die.
Wait, hold on. So you think car rental works on the way back?
Yeah, they have to pay for it.
Yeah, they already did. That's what the car they have.
But that's the next rental.
Wait, the next rent, they're getting a new car rental from.
They have to rent it again. They're renting it for one more day.
That's how this works. The operation is for a single day.
Well, presumably, we don't know.
Will this car or villa be just burnt down?
You could still say that is predicting maybe a character will die.
Okay.
I feel like 4 people. It's a lot. It's a lot of JoJo characters.
He still said 4 wasn't even enough people.
That's true. Maybe they all die. Maybe JoJo. Maybe it's a Rohan part. What if Rohan takes over after this chapter?
Right to his face. I'm a Joestar now, and then the star just forms on his neck.
He literally looks at the camera and is like, "It's time for my adventures." Wow. Then he kills JoJo.
Look at me. I'm the protagonist now.
Then he goes and kills JoJo's mom, Barbara Ann.
Just cracks his neck. He lines them all.
He writes on the face, "Stand right there until I crack your neck," and then he does it.
It just be like, crack your own neck, and it just do like a fucking like Mortal Kombat like harakiri from.
All right. So I don't really have any other predictions. It's probably gonna be a good chapter.
So do you think the diamond's actually in there then?
I think it's unbreakable, Sam.
Do you really think the diamond is truly unbreakable?
Also, how do we not get that reference? Clearly, it was a part 4 reference because it's a diamond.
It was a reference the entire time. So do you think diamond's there?
Yeah, sure.
Do you think Rohan notices them like when they grab the diamond, like when one of them just scouting, like? Who do you think, or is it like a thing where they're all in different parts and they all just get taken out? Like,
I want to see that.
Like Hitman style, or like...
I want to see him like John Wick style, like divide and conquer, take them all out one by one.
The last encounter is JoJo versus Rohan?
Probably, yeah.
Because I'm trying...
Because he could do anything. He could say like, you go to sleep, and he could just make them like...
I think this is stupid. So there's this one comic panel of Martian Manhunter with Joker, and like he uses his psychic powers to make the Joker sane for like 10 minutes, and he goes, "Oh no, what have I done?" And he gives him like the detonator, and he's just like, how long can you do this for? Like 10 minutes. Like we'll just get him arrested in handcuffs while he's crying about all the crimes he committed.
That's so fucking
it's like
funny.
Right, like JoJo, you are no longer a psychopath. Like you are a.
It is immediately solving a problem we just found out about.
He's like, haha, my psychopathy is like beyond curing. But I'm sure, I'm like, yeah, I'm just like, don't know what other things I've really theorized about that other than, do you think the villa is gonna be lit on fire?
Yeah, that's a pretty safe guess, honestly.
I was just think like, what are there any other things you have any theories on, or
honestly, no. I feel like there really is not too much to like speculate on. I'm kind of surprised at the focus of that. What's her name? Mei Lin.
Yeah.
Gets in the beginning. I feel like she's gonna be actually pretty important. There was a kind of jokes about her being like a pulpo.
She's like a more respected pulpo, where like they are getting infected, where everybody's kind of like intimidated by him, and JoJo is like, I'm gonna fucking blow his brains out with a goddamn banana.
I really think that he's going to, or that she's going to, play more of a part in the story. I think that there's probably going to be, like, JoJo will have to like confront her because early on, early on, I mean, one chapter ago, Jojo's whole thing was about how, like, he basically just takes orders. He doesn't, like, ask questions. He just does what needs to be done. And I think he's going to have a real moment where he needs to, like, stand up to Maylin, and there's got to be someone above her, right? Like, she's getting her intel from somewhere. There's got to be like
she had a source that told her about the diamonds. So
there's some complex crime syndicate bullshit going on.
I said it could be a setup, or I said it could be an operation. I think I made a prediction either our first episode or during our JOKAKAKA where I said the operation can go wrong. Maybe the boy died, or one of them. You know, the guy she suggested dies, or I don't know. She could be involved. She could be the main villain. But I don't know. It's like we always wait to see. We can only make so many bullshit theories.
It's true.
And as I said, the operation going south is easy to know. But Rohan, main villain, who knows?
But yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. I mean, I really enjoyed this chapter. Obviously gave it another read through. I read one of the other scans after the leaks.
Yeah.
We talked about the leaks. I think we hit everything, right?
Yeah, but I said I'm sure you want to talk about your bingo board. I
do.
Because I forget mine. I have to look at find mine again. But what are you bringing out? Do you print out our bingo boards?
Printed out my bingo board.
Oh my god! I
should have printed yours out.
Jim's doing like the fucking zipper like ASMR. Oh my god!
All right, so I don't know if I'll put these on screen, but they're on our Twitters and shit if you want to see. I can check off probably 3, almost 3. I'm waiting a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I can easily check off most recent music reference post 2011, which is Dua Lipa.
Mm-hmm.
Easily check off King Crimson reference.
Okay.
Then I have the one I'm waiting for. Oh, also there has been an aura, so I've got 3 actually.
Okay.
And then the one that I'm waiting on is character redesign. Where did I write that?
Yeah, fuck you, Rohan. Fuck you over on that one.
Yeah, I'm waiting for him to have some sort of character. Did I wait?
I love the Joshu art people made of him coming out of the pool, and like half of them have him having a robot arm.
That was really funny.
There's one that's like, instead of the earring, it's showing like the screw on the arm, so like to show you he stole an arm.
Maybe I don't have that one. Maybe I read something else, someone else's.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. I also have pregnant mommy Yasuho. Not yet.
I got a cup. Okay, so I pulled mine up. So whenever you're done, I'll go.
Yeah, that was mine. That was my.
So 3. I do have learned more of Joseph's side of the family, as we've learned that he has another daughter that we just didn't know about.
That is true.
Let's see. Community will like the most unlikable character. It seems to be going there with Hot Dog Boy.
We should wait until at least like 10, 20 chapters before making those kind of calls. But yeah, I do agree with you.
Female Joe Bro. I mean, that's a hot topic right now. So I can't have to wait for that.
That is actually a hot topic.
That is a hot topic, so I don't know about that yet.
We'll find out.
No reference to Japanese music yet, I don't think.
I thought it was initially when the King Crimson reference, but no. It
does take place in 2020. And no nudity. I mean, no nudity yet, but
the characters have almost been naked. It's crazy. The woman in the beginning, the DEA agent, was like hardly wearing clothing.
As I said, there was a horrible cop reaching in the pants of a character.
Yeah. But
I have a couple off of there, but
we're getting there. I need to mark mine.
Dead dog. Unless you consider a hot dog to be a dead dog.
Nope.
But yeah.
All right. Well...
anything other theory to talk about? No.
Oh, I did want to do our little one more thing. I don't want to call it that though, because I'm stealing that from another podcast.
From Jackie Chan Adventures.
One more thing. No, let's call it
Root Beer Talk.
Root Beer Talk. All right.
As we used to call it in the Neon Cat.
Yeah, it's coming back. It's Root Beer Talk. So during Root Beer Talk, Jim and Sam talk about things that aren't JoJo for a little bit, kind of like a check-in, like what you been doing lately that you've been into. I'll let you go first.
Okay. 2 things.
All right, thanks, Sam. That was great. All right, me now.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
That's about right. No.
So what are your 2 things?
So 2 things. I've been playing. So I've been on my Switch. I've been playing the there's a Zelda game from the Game Boy Color.
Oh, Zelda.
I think it's like Link Awakening DX. I've been playing that.
Oh yeah.
Pretty fun. It's pretty.
That was the remake of Link's Awakening.
Yes,
or the remastered version.
I never went to go play Link's Awakening. It just feels. I started playing a little bit. I'm like, I think it didn't feel like the Game Boy Color game I played, and then this one actually just plays like the one before the one I played, so it just feels familiar. But it's a pretty beefy, really funny, like kind of fourth wall breaking, because like there are NPCs and it's like, oh yeah, you should go down this way into this wood. You probably find a guy there. But what do I know? I'm just a kid. It's just a random NPC giving you a tip, but like, oh wait, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm a kid, but that's your tip anyway. But it's very. I had a fun time playing it.
Oh, did you finish it?
I'm like halfway through. I'm like halfway through the dungeon.
I saw a really funny clip from that where like you have to take there's like a girl character that like sits on a bench, and there's a part where you have to like take her somewhere, and Link does like the item acquired.
Yes, I did that. It's so funny.
Link literally holds her up over his head like an item, and the music plays.
You don't put it in your pocket. She just follows you anyway.
That is so funny. Like I want to play that game because like everything I've seen about it's really funny.
Yes, it's very. I'm enjoying it. It's kind of easy, other than the overworld trying to find out where you go next, because the tips they give you, because there's the phone you can call to get tips, and they're very vague tips. So, because one's like, oh, you should go back to the village you started in, and then it didn't tell you where to go, so you have to like talk to the right NPCs in the right order. But no, it's still a Game Boy game. And then I know it was
remade for the Switch recently.
Link's Awakening was, yes.
Yeah,
it had that weird 3D, like over top 3D.
Yeah, they gave it kind of like a doll aesthetic. It's got like a sort of like play doll aesthetic. I can't explain it.
But I might go back and play actually Link's Awakening after I'm done with this.
Isn't it just? I thought Link's Awakening was just a Game Boy game, and DX was a Game Boy Advance game, or Color game.
Link's Awakening is the SNES game, and Link's Awakening DX is the Game Boy Color. Oh. And it's not, doesn't start out anything, it's not the same at all.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's the opening is like you start out like going to the castle to find your dad, essentially, and then this one starts out with you just waking up on an island.
Oh, interesting.
But so another thing, I started watching the new Super Sentai series called King Oger, which is like a bug one. It's like the most unique Sentai because doesn't really take place in Japan. It's like a fantasy kingdom, like all the characters are like the kings of respective nations. And it's like it's all in this fictional area. I sent Jim a picture. It like starts out like a weird Attack on Titan of like these monsters guarding Bugnarok. Like it looks like Attack on Titan.
Do they call it Bugnarok?
It's really called Bugnarok. It's great. It's great.
That's
funny. And it's really like the style of his suits are like the sexiest looking like shiny like suits. It has a cape. It looks good. It's like and I love the character designs. All the kings are very unique. They all like respective like we've only seen like the first kingdom, which is like our guy is like. Basically stole the sword and just like, yo, you're king, you're corrupt and bad. I'm just gonna become the evil king that takes over your kingdom. I'll play this role. Nice. It's great. And then we've seen the second one, which is like the blue one, which is like the high tech, which is just like the one area they can use Japan as a setting, but like add like the electronic screens everywhere, and everybody's dressed up like they're going to a 2000 rave. It's great. And you battle by hacking. It's so funny. But no, it's great.
Like 4 different things happening at once.
It's so great. But it's probably one of the stylish things I've seen, especially as a departure from the last series I watched there. But I've been really enjoying the 2 episodes I saw there. It's very like futuristic fantasy, like very fun.
Nice. Well, I'm glad to hear that.
That's like the 2 main things I'm watching. How about you?
I'll hit you with 2 things too. So 2 things too.
2 worlds too, yes.
I actually have been playing through the old 3D Zeldas. I beat Ocarina of Time recently. I think that was my.
You mentioned a little bit, but
thing last time.
I don't think you beat it.
Yeah, that was a really good game. I'd never played it before. Really good.
Are you moving on to Majora's Mask?
Yes, I started Majora's Mask. And I'm honestly, this is gonna sound embarrassing. I'm getting intimidated by it. Like
that's the one that has like the time limit or a timer on it.
So yeah, every like loop, you have 3 days to like win.
I hate games like the one thing I didn't like about like XCOM 2 had that.
Oh really? I never played the XCOM.
And what's it called? Dead Rising 1. Dead Rising 1 I think was the worst. That game just like had some functioning mechanics wrong with it. When like Dead Rising 2 that were like, okay, I can manage this because the weapons I have.
Yeah, I remember Dead Rising 1 being really difficult.
I just hate games that have that intimidating time limit. It's not like the gimmick of like a roguelike or something. It
really does work in Majora's Mask. It's so funny to talk about a game that's like over 20 years old.
Persona gives you a time limit, but it's not intimidating because you can just grind it out in like one dungeon.
It's like such a different.
I've been playing that.
It's like such a different thing. But like what really works in Majora's Mask is that like very shortly, and you can end a loop whenever. Like you can restart the loop whenever you want, and you can do like a little song that makes the loop slow down.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of ways to finagle it to make it more like tolerable.
Yeah.
I don't say it's bad.
Are you playing it blind, or are you playing a thing to try to get every mask you can?
My dear friend Tom did tell me to try and get all the masks, so I'll probably do that. I had to use a guide more than I wanted to in Ocarina of Time, but
yeah. I only really did that in like Mega Man X games. I played through those. Like I built the collection. I was like, I want to do this blind, but that game has missable collectibles, or like you know, to get you want to get this Ryu power up. You gotta click like this thing. I'm like, I want to get that because you can miss it.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's like something that I'm really torn about, especially with older games. Older games were like brutal with this kind of thing.
There are. I mean, I remember like first playing Donkey Kong Country 2, and you needed the strategy guide back in the day to like. Now I can play the game and pretty much know where all the secrets are. Like
because you have photographic memory of it.
Only that game. I can kill that game. It's on the Switch, man. You should play that.
I tried playing it.
It's the best.
I just couldn't really get into it.
The best platformer ever. Don't at me.
But yeah, Majora's Mask super cool. I love the aesthetic. It's amazing. Actually, these old Zelda games. I can't believe how good they are. But I'm done. No more Zelda talk.
Anything? That's the only thing, or that you think?
No,
else?
one more thing.
Okay.
I've been watching Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh, nice.
Going through the Dark Tournament finally. Actually, it's really funny. I started watching Yu Yu Hakusho. I mean, obviously, big nostalgia. I watched it as a kid. I loved it. But I never saw the whole thing. Kind of like, you know, when it's on like Toonami, you'd only see an episode every once in a while.
Yeah, I remember I saw, I think, the Dark Tournament up, and then I think it was like the last fight, but there were so many episodes for that last fight, I guess, you just milking it, that I was like, I give up, and it could just randomly just restart the series at any week.
Yeah, it's really brutal trying to think about watching this weekly. I guess technically, I think like not Adult Swim, Cartoon Network and Toonami would do like a new episode every day kind of thing, because they would just basically
the week, the afternoon block.
Yeah, but like I'm only about like maybe I don't even know, a quarter into it. I've watched a ton of episodes, but like the Dark Tournament's super long.
Yeah.
What I was saying earlier, like I started watching Yu Yu Hakusho about a year or two or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I was on Crunchyroll, and then mysteriously Crunchyroll was just like, actually, we only have up to like right before the Dark Tournament begins. Also, fuck you, and they just removed all of it.
It's almost as if it's like Hunter x Hunter, where like different streaming services will have up to different arcs.
Numbers. But then because I guess the Funimation buyout or whatever, their merger, now it's all on Crunchyroll, so I've been watching it on there, and I'm like, oh yeah, Yu Yu Hakusho is really good, and it's so funny because like it is so proto Hunter x Hunter in so many ways. Like the magic system is just not nearly as like fleshed out. Even going into the Dark Tournament, where it really is about like rules and restrictions, it's just not as like it's not as beautiful as Nen is.
I'm pretty sure the power creep is like bad in Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, and like it's great though. I mean, like the animation's really good. I love 90s anime. Botan is fucking based. Mm-hmm. Botan is like one of the most overlooked like babes of all time. Baddie of the week.
I mean, folks, where's the lie?
Seriously, Botan is great, and like she's the ultimate character where she just always has a new costume on, like a new design.
And that's what we love. Was it? Because the Hunter x Hunter, you kind of carries it over. Like, okay, everybody would just have changing outfits most of the time, or have characters that do that.
It's just really funny how like Togashi became like a massive sexist in between Yu Yu Hakusho and Hunter x Hunter, because like Yu Yu Hakusho has so many female characters in it.
But do any of them actually like?
Most of them are not important. I would say most aren't important, but there are so many women in it. And then in Hunter x Hunter, there's like 9 women in the whole fucking series.
I'm pretty sure the closest they can get to a female fighter like to do anything like, drastically was like Yusuke like possessing a schoolgirl to beat up some bullies and then depossessing her. That was like the most action. Well,
also, so I'm watching the dub because nostalgia.
Dub is good.
The dub is good.
Kuwabara's dub voice is iconic.
It is also just Chris Sabat, and I cannot hear. It just sounds like Vegeta to me, like Vegeta, like with some gravel in his mouth. But Botan is great, and also his girlfriend Keiko, I think her name is Laura Bailey. So immediately, I'm just like, I love.
This is like such a weird. I feel like it's such a weird time capsule. It's like, oh yeah, all the notable voice actors.
It is a really funny time capsule. It's a pretty good dub. Also, I'm sorry I keep talking about this, but so the Dark Tournament has like all these random characters that show up.
They're on that fighting game.
Remember
the PS2 fighting game? The Dark Tournament had the fighting game, yeah.
What?
The Yu Yu Hakusho fighting game. Because I remember I played it once and there was a yo-yo person.
Oh, yeah, I love that kid. No, but so it's just hilarious because, like, I want to know what they did in the original, because in the localized dub, one of the first guys that Yusuke fights is a big, like, Mohawk Australian drunk man whose whole gimmick is that he gets so drunk that he gets super powerful. But it's just Australia as hell. It's like, hey, Sheila, like, want to drink some booze? And then there's like randomly this one red-haired guy that has a horrible Irish accent. He's like an Oni, and I don't know if he's supposed to be speaking like a different dialect of Japanese, but they give him like this embarrassing Irish accent, and Yusuke can't even understand him. It's so fucking funny.
I love when they have weird accents. Like in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, there's a monster that talked and just made him do a Schwarzenegger impression for it. I'm like,
great.
Some weird dub options. It's so funny.
Yeah, and it really like I want to know what he did for the Australian character in the original, because him being Australian is like so important to his character ironically. Also the Fox girl, I forget her name, the announcer. She's not a cat girl. I thought she was. She's actually a Fox girl. She literally.
I think we never did that.
I know. She literally becomes like a main character in this arc. It's so fucking funny. I can't think of any other time where like a random announcer character just becomes a main character for an arc.
It's like literally only he would do that for, because we've had we basically had side characters become main characters for like arcs.
It's so good. And the Australian guy's flirting with her so much. It's wonderful.
But that everything then?
I guess so. Yeah, I'm only a bit into it, but I'm so excited. I fucking love it. It's really hilarious, just like how many more women are in Yu Yu Hakusho than there ever are in Hunter x Hunter. Yeah. That might be like my biggest complaint with Hunter x Hunter, is that like there's literally like maybe 5 women in like the whole fucking franchise.
Only like one real notable one. I would. That's like an actual character.
Yeah, Bisky.
But I guess there's 2 then.
Bisky, I guess you could say Alika.
Yeah, I guess Alika. Yeah, Alika too. I get it.
Alika's also kind of just like
Kill It was hot mom.
Kill It, yeah, but barely a character.
Barely a character.
Character.
The from the Chimera Ant. She's in the date. The crazy
Palm. I love Palm.
Yes, Palm.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love every single female character he does. It just feels like there's so few compared to even just Yu Yu Hakusho. Mochi is a character.
Is she the? Oh yeah, there was the one other girl.
And there's the dog girl. There, Cheadle.
John Cheadle.
Cheadle is the dog girl in the new arc.
Yeah, okay. John Cheadle.
I don't know if there's any. Oh, there's like 1 or 2 other girls in the 12 Zodiac. I think there's at least
one.
And
I said Mochi is the only female spider left, I think.
Spoilers.
I think.
Spoilers.
There's only like one other one before.
Shh.
I think.
Maki? Is it Mochi or?
I thought it was Mochi.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's Mochi.
It does feel like something he would do to name a character after food.
Yeah.
All right, we can't talk about this anymore.
Yeah. That's our Hunter x Hunter podcast.
Yeah, I need to catch up.
Yeah,
I would love to catch up, actually. We should do that soon.
Yeah. Especially if you have a hiatus month for JoJo, it's a good thing to
that was a good idea.
put in there. But should I plug it up?
Yeah.
Should I plug up fucking Rohan's bullshit?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you all for listening to us ramble on about nothing. If you like the podcast, like the episode, like the video, comment, review anywhere, subscribe if you haven't, do whatever you can on whatever service you listening on. You can also follow the podcast on Twitter, and me and Jim separately, who are both on that Twitter account. The links anyway. You can also join our Discord. You can also send some money on the Patreon for a tip, for the tip jar,
Yeah, support us on Patreon. I would love that.
And then we'll give you a shout out if you're a Patreon.
Hell yeah.
You will be our unofficial sponsor of the episode.
Wouldn't you just love that? Wouldn't you just love it?
And someone's going to make their fucking Patreon name like MeUndies.com or Raid Shadow Legends.
Yeah, I'm waiting for people to do like shitty joke
I know.
things.
The one podcast I listen to, they get punished for that because they have any recurring jokes, like every other person's name is Dick the Cock Johnson, and they get it's like punishment. They're just people, I guess, making new Patreon names. They have like 3,000 Patreon, and I think half of them are just people putting like $1 in to say Dick the Cock Johnson in various forms.
That's funny.
But okay, and then with that, we will see you next time. For Chapter 3.
Dragon Ball Z.
On Dragona Ball Z.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.